on today, we were supposed to talk about Christmas. And one of the reasons we were supposed to talk about Christmas is because a lot of Africans are going to bankrupt yourselves during this process now. I've read some place where people on average will spend from $1,000 to $2,000 just on the holidays alone. And that so another place I read that people will spend a quarter of their income just on the Christmas holidays. People who got credit cards and stuff like that will be paying will not have paid this Christmas bills off next Christmas, right? This is the kind of stuff that people are going to be involved in. Now, I'm mentioning this for a number of reasons. One is because it's a false, hollow holiday that's been created for the purpose of, one, stealing your money. That's one of the reasons that the holiday is there. But another thing is that it helps to consolidate the identity of people in this country and in the white world. And to the extent that you are part of the Christmas things, it helps to consolidate your identity with the white world. Because it is a holiday that's among all the other kinds of holidays that white people experience and share and celebrate. It is one of those holidays that constitutes the national identity of white people. In the absence of having your own philosophy, your own identity, or even being able to know who the hell you are, then you end up celebrating your oppression. You end up celebrating your own bad treatment. That's a problem. That's why even though we see everything that happens to us, who in the hell has ever known the police department to serve and protect? In real life, how in the hell can an African stand up and say, I thought the police was here to serve and protect? When every experience we have with the police department is getting knots on our head and getting shot in our communities and things like that. But the reason we can say that is because we buy into the philosophy of white power, white nationalism, the whole white identity, including Christmas. And Christmas ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. Because if Jesus was tried to come to this country today, the police department would put a knot on his ass if walking around here barefoot talking about, he'd have a modern day lynching. Jesus wouldn't stand a chance, you'll hear. So it ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. It's got to do with that fat white man, right, who y'all teach, and then, if it's not him, a Negroid fat person who comes with all the goodies and stuff like that, which is a terrible lie, and it's a terrible betrayal of our conditions, because to the extent, and we feed our children, well, he don't know no better, or teach him better. Right. Teach your child better. To have your child believing that some fat white guy comes down a damn chimney to bring him something is insane. As hard as African people have to work to get every damn thing that we got, people selling drugs, doing everything just to try to keep up, and you're talking about a fat white man brought it to you? And it's an offense. It's an offense against the sensibilities. Your children can't even grow up with good heads on their bodies. And if they don't get it, what does it mean if your child doesn't get it? If your child doesn't get it, they say Santa Claus brings things to people who are what? Good. Everybody knows that. So if your child doesn't get something, then it has to identify with something being wrong. It's because it's not good. Why doesn't your child really not get what your child needs? Because he lives in a world that is hostile to black people. And that child needs to know that the world is hostile to black people. Did you see that song on television? You see all that good stuff that them white people got there? That's stuff that should be coming to you, but it's been stolen. That's what your child should be taught, that at least your child then can arm himself or herself to struggle for a better world. But if you're teaching your child some fat white guy supposed to bring it over, and then teach the child not to pick up a 9mm and take it, when you see the fat guy moving through the community, it's a crime against the community. You can't do that. There's so many other things that's associated with this thing, and I'm not going to try to get into it. But I'm saying that we are trapped. And you're trapped by it. And I know that you're having problems with this now, because you want to teach your little child about Santa Claus and Christmas, and even me. I mean, today, you're walking through the mall, and they're playing with your psyche because you was this high. You've been hearing all this Christmas music and stuff. It makes you nostalgic. been teary-eyed, you've been had, you've been poked, you've been misused, as Malcolm X said. They play you. They're playing you out of pocket. You ain't got nothing. They taking that, and they want that. You ain't got nothing, and they want that too. You see. And so, and it locks you mentally and emotionally. Emotionally, it locks you into your own bad treatment. You participate in your own bad treatment, right? And teach your children and yourself not to have any regard for yourself. Love your mama who took that 65% that welfare people get out and turned that shit over and brought you something here to eat. That's what you should love. That's what our children need to understand. That's what our children need to understand. So that Santa Claus nonsense, tell your child if you see Santa Claus in the neighborhood, you're going to kick his ass and take everything he's got. Because it belongs to us anyway. So I mean, I'm making jokes, but I'm very serious about this. And you got relatives who are going to spend a lot of money if they haven't already spent it now. That's what it's set up. How's that? We're going to talk about that. We were supposed to have a whole week with the whole month, talk about holidays and tell you stuff about that Saint Nick that you ain't never knew. If you known what I know about Santa Claus, you'd be looking for him anyway. You'd have a posse on his ass anyway if you knew what I knew about Santa Claus. So we're going to talk more about this and show you some videos and stuff like that to help you understand this Santa Claus thing better. But right now, what you need to do is work on your relatives and try to get people not to go broke. Among other things, the economy in this country is going down the tubes, and they ain't going to have nothing. So teach them and work with them about that.